Hey, look.
Oh, look at your hand. Your knuckle.
Oh, what was that from? Oh, you're joking. There's yours. There's mine.
This week's episode of the workshop tour, I've been pulling plastic off of aluminium. See you next week.
That's
very voluminous.
George. That is
quality
it's quality JDM. Not
ah! To the snip snap.
Oh, is that's oi.
Is that the George?
That's him.
That's the George.
That's who we talked to. Right there.
Welcome to this instalment of workshop tours at Street Race Solutions with Daniel.
You just ruined it.
And Samuel.
I was about to say. G'day, I'm Daniel. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Samuel.
And today,
you're looking at Street Race Solutions through a piece of aluminium. Let's do it.
All right.
So, what we've got.
This is Banana Boat. Bananas. B-A-N-A. Yeah, right. That's our last 3 hours.
Introducing to you all the yellow S15 that has been tinkering around, kicking around in the background of the shop. Lurking, that's a good word, isn't it?
It's been lurking. Ain't no sunshine when it's yellow. It's an S15. It's a, what is it?
This is going to be...
Long story short, we're pretty much building a G-Up 2.0 in an S chassis.
The yellow G-Up in an S chassis. Oh, I cut my finger.
So come in here as a rolling little, you're right. Last week on Friday when Sam left me.
I'm right-handed, by the way.
You what? Tell them, not me, I know.
No, you said I was left-handed.
I know, tell them.
I'm right-handed.
He's ambidextrous.
Daniel got cracking, yes, so whipped the S15 onto the hoist. He started pulling it apart. First cab off the rank was to
drop the rear cradle.
Drop the rear cradle.
Fully dismantle the cradle to a bare cradle, so these young tuckers over here on the left-hand side of me could hot-shot it down to, where'd you go, Victoria.
Yeah, so the exact same setup as G-Up's got in the rear end of it, so basically bare cradle out, taken to Zoo Performance. They do the cradle modifications to fit the Winters Diff in the back, so drop the cradle off, they'll modify it, ship it back to us, and it'll be ready to bolt the Winters Diff into it. So that's the idea behind the rear end being completely out of the car. So yeah, we'll get this on some caster wheels so we can move it around the shop. But since we were heading to Victoria anyway, and that's where Zoo Performance is, that's why we got Daniel to quickly smash it out and strip it down to a bare cradle so we could take it down with us and drop it off. So they're going to modify that.
Because they couldn't take me down with them, so they took the cradle instead.
You can't leave the state. Wait, I cut my finger twice.
Oh no! Stripped the whole front. Stripped it to bare bones.
I wasn't here, so you tell me exactly what you did. I'm so intrigued.
You ready?
Yep.
So I come in here on a Friday morning. George was here. He was here. We had brekkie together. We had a toolbox talk, bit of a pre-start about it all. I was about 3 Red Bulls in when I come up with my game plan. Mm-hmm. What I did then was start removing every little piece out of the engine bay, bro. As you can see, there might be some B or C rolls over there, bread rolls over there.
Yeah, there's some bread rolls.
Some bread rolls over there that George might put in for all use to what?
B-roll.
Oh, bread rolls. Oh, sorry. It's already got wire save in the front of it. He put it in. Modified rack, obviously, for it. Moving on. I pretty much emptied everything to start shaving the engine bay, tidy it all up, remove everything we don't need because everything's going to be brand new.
And for the S15, 1200 horsepower, sequential, you know.
Honey.
Honey.
Pulled the loom out, started stripping all the wiring out of it. I got it, George. I got the dog. Man, easy as. Easy. I do it in my sleep. Got a wire connected over here, which I don't know what it's connected to, but it's just a singular little wire. Oh, it's spliced in anyway, George. Watch this, ready? I don't care. I'll just splice into there anyway, that's a goose move. got to wind her up and then you get her up. Don't worry about winding her up. Now, see this one? That one there plugs in down under the dash here, right? And then when you tune your ECU, you can actually travel in light speed because that's R20. It's an S15, George. 2 for flinching, brother.
You got scared. You're abusive.
No, I'm ready to joust. Let's have a joust.
Abusive. What do you expect me to do?
Abusive.
Yeah,
Says you slapping me in the last.
In the what? Anyway.
When we were out last night.
Oh, yeah.
Beans and bananas, they say. Get it? No,
I don't get it. It'll be very cool when it's done. It's going to be basically G up in an S15, so we'll have 2 1200 plus horsepower drift cars, 1 murdered out black and EV1 yellow. So it's going to get, the colour at the moment is like close-ish to the factory colour, but it's been resprayed. So it's going to get paint and panel
fully resprayed
and put back
again
into the factory yellow, the factory EV1 yellow. So it's going to look immaculate when it's done, and it's going to tear tyres off it like it's no tomorrow. So.
But there is a tomorrow, so we'll have to wait.
Yeah, there is
for
a tomorrow, and then
until this is done, and then we'll
just put more tyres on it.
And then go again until there's no tomorrow. Is that correct? Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah. Some cowling done up here on the starboard side of it.
How many times are you going to make the boat joke?
Bros.
If you look down in front of you, George.
Broats and hose.
Check out the McAngle of the dangle you get with this wise fab.
That's crazy. I can't even lock my house up as much as lock this has, right? It's crazy. That sounded wet. Wet.
You should call in. Is that it? Is that what we're doing? Is that what you're talking about? What's next? What are you doing? What are you doing at the moment?
There's so much wiring in the car, eh? Everything else I've pulled out. Like, I'm just asking what you're doing.
I was just waiting for you to finish talking about all the things you did, but you said that you pulled the wiring out about 7 times now. So.
Yeah, well, George asked me in case everyone at home missed it.
It's the 7th time.
Bro.
I think Daniel pulled the wiring out.
Where is it?
1200 horsepower, sequential drift car. If you can guess what engine's going in it, I'll give you nothing. Daniel will double it. You'll get a gold star. Moving on over here to some things. This bench was empty yesterday. So we've got Stuart's gearbox back out of the car. You know? Look at that. Fat! It was only temporarily fitted up there, but we just got it out of there.
Hell, Daniel! Ow! You weren't heavy or something?
Holy
hell.
Pretty much we just wanted to put it in as soon as we could to make sure that everything was right and everything fitted up and the clearances were right and stuff like that in case we had to modify or change something. So when we put that in, it was all sweet, so that's fine. So we've just ripped it back out now. I had to do some stuff on the head drain and there was just clearance issues with the adapter plate and stuff like that. So box is out. While the box is out, we're going to finish welding up all the holes in the floor in the tunnel and mounting the shifter and stuff like that. Stop moving your hands around so much. Yeah. So while, literally, that's how I feel.
Oh, I'm just trapping.
While the gearbox is out, yeah, we're going to mount the shifter on the tunnel and fill up any holes that we don't need and stuff like that. Do any
Sam's
welding.
extremely good at filling holes.
Do any welding that we need to do before the gearbox goes back in so that we're not covering any sparks or anything like that. And then currently working on making the filler necks for the 2 fuel tanks. So basically the concept behind, obviously, give me a thesaurus. Sandwich plate type deal for the boot to go to the tanks. So we're running twin tanks in the bank in the back. So it's going to be ethanol and methanol. So we're going to have 2 fillers, obviously.
Clearly.
I'm currently working on the logic. It sounds very simple to have ethanol and methanol in the one car. It's a lot to actually. It's easy to say it. It's harder to implement it. So we're just working on the.
You on Red Bull?
Yes, please. We're just working on the logistics of actually doing all of that. So talking it all through before we actually go ahead and do anything that we can't reverse. For the purposes of getting the car running, because the panel work hasn't been done yet and the rear guards are still going to be pulled out a tiny bit more, eventually we're going to have quick fill, what do you call them, George? Middies. Quick fill nozzles, I don't know, quick fills on each guard. So one side will be ethanol and one side will be methanol. But for the moment, because the panel work hasn't been finished on the guards, we don't want to mount anything to there in case that messes with the body lines and stuff that we're going to have for when the guards get pumped. So for now, we're just going to have twin fillers in the boot,
if Youngie
get the car running, get the car tuned.
Pumping. If Youngie had a job, he'd be pumping.
Would it?
He'd be pumping on the guards.
He's not very good at pumping at all.
Yeah, he can pump, but he's just don't have much to pump. That's, you know. I'll give it to him, bro. Pump hard. Not for long.
The car is getting pretty close to going towards wiring. We've just got a few, I say a few, we've still got a lot to do plumbing wise, but to actually be able to be wired, there's not much left. I've been doing some of the dry sump lines.
So over here, George, we've got the dry sump lines.
Yeah. So we've got the feed and return for the dry sump, and then these two black Teflon lines here. We've got the scavenge lines from the sump to the dry sump pump, and then the only one that I've left to run for the dry sump itself.
This is fuel tank line, eh?
Yeah. The only one dry sump line I've got left to run is for the head drain into the dry sump pump. So this scavenges.
Sorry.
You're right.
Sorry.
This scavenges from 2 points on the sump, and then it scavenges from the head as well. So anybody knows anything about RBs know they have issues filling the heads with oil. So you run a head drain generally is the idea, but with the dry sump we are able to run a head drain and actually scavenge and pull vacuum through that head drain rather than just gravity feed. So we run 2 to the sump. There's 3 in total scavengers, so we run 2 to the sump and we run 1 to the head drain. That's the exact same setup that we run on G-Up, and it's perfect. So arm might fall down.
I've got to hold that arm up, that's that big.
Your hands are cold. Why are they cold?
Red Bull, bro.
It's nice.
Wow.
Had a stroke. Headed down to Winton for the summer showdown. So took G-Up down there. Wanted to get out of the state for a while, and well, Andy wanted to get out of the state for a while and drift a different track because he's getting, I don't want to say he's getting bored, but he's getting bored.
No, there's only so many laps you can do around
QR.
QR.
So many laps you can do around the same track and be excited about it. So to go to a new track change is as good a holiday, really, isn't it?
You know what,
so
he could have honestly just like
he
was
was
around the corner and went short track.
Could have. He was, yes, like really excited to get out and drive different tracks. So when the borders opened up, it was a no-brainer. So we loaded the car up, headed down to Victoria, and took part in the summer showdown drift event at Winton Raceway. So
shredded.
Car did incredible all
shredded
day.
Till deaded.
Shredded till deaded. Did all the tyres, all the NOS that we took down with it. I think it was would have been 12.
Smacked
12
couple of bottles
7
on the
sets
way
of tyres,
down,
8 sets of tyres, I think. Including we ended up testing out at the end of the day a set of 285 like drift specific tyres from Zestino.
Who's that?
Got him. Drift specific tyres from Zestino. So to see that car on 285s and still just blazing them is a pretty cool sight to see.
Mum would say she was cooking.
The car did great all day, didn't touch it. The only spanners we put on it were an AN4 and an AN12, and that's to change the nitrous bottles, and a 12mm to take the bonnet off. So that's it, that's all we did. So it was great to be able to take the car 1,300 Ks
and it just
away from home and have it perform at a track that it's never been to in front of people that have never seen it. So it's nice to sort of put a bit of a name for it out other than just at the home track. So yeah, keen to get back out.
Yeah.
Melbourne, Sydney, Victoria, everywhere. Now that the borders are opened up, hopefully we'll be getting around.
I've had 6 vaccine shots, so I'm sweet to travel. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, we'll be out
boosties.
more frequently, visiting different tracks. So that's it. That was weird.
That was a. What did you do last week, George?
My best.
February 12th, power play at QR. We'll be down there with G-Up.
Don't miss out.
Don't miss out. We'll be there. You'll be there. Everyone will be there.
Between 12 to 1 we'll have photo shoots going, so if you want to get a photo of Sam and I in front of G-Up, we'll be there.
Can I get a photo with you in front of G-Up?
Can I? Yeah.
Please?
Yeah. You know what we should do?
Can we take a photo of your car?
We should get G-Up to come and get a photo of us, because we're cool. I like your car. Can I come in your car? Oh yeah, road catch, talk to you, George is going flat.
Bye, George. And everyone watching.
And everyone watching.
You're undressing already.